mingled with blood, and they were cast upon the earth, and the third part of trees was burned up, and all green grass was burned up.
You all, and we see this a little bit now, how you have a thunderstorm and hell will hit the earth and destroy cars. At this time, this hell gonna be big as about a 100-pound ball. He said, what? He gonna destroy what? A part of the trees and burn up the earth. This hell with fire on it. What that second angel gonna do? Go ahead.
And the second angel sounded, and as it were, a great mountain burning with fire was cast into the sea. And the third part of the sea became blood.
Yes, sir.
And the third part of the creatures which were in the sea and had life died. And the third part of the ships were destroyed.
So everything in the sea, all these military weapons like submarines, God said, I'm gonna kill all that up in the sea. A third part of it, the fish, the animals, the fish, whatever it is in that sea, I'm gonna kill the third part because it's gonna be a time, it's gonna be very little food upon this earth in this great tribulation.
That's right.
If you ain't in the place of safety, well, God gonna have plenty of food for his people to protect him. But if you outside of that, hey man, it's gonna be rough. It's gonna be rough. Go ahead.
Verse 10.
Yes, sir.
And the third angel sounded, and there fell a great star from heaven, burning as it were a lamp. And it fell upon the third part of the rivers, and upon the mountains of waters.
So you think we don't have clean drinking water? This time it's gonna be bloody. And it's gonna be bitter, and it's gonna kill a third part of the man. Go ahead.
And the name of the star is called Wormwood.
Yes, sir.
And the third part of the waters became wormwood, and many men died of the waters because they were made bitter.
Because the water gonna be destroyed. All that. Go ahead.
And the fourth angel sounded, and the third part of the sun was smitten, and the third part of the moon, and the third part of the stars.
Yes, sir.
So as the third part of them was darkened, and the day shone not for a third part of it, and the night likewise.
You ain't never seen that where the sun ain't giving light, the moon ain't giving light. I don't even want to see this. But if I see it, I'm gonna be in the right place. Go ahead.
And I beheld, and heard an angel flying through the midst of heaven, saying with a loud voice, Woe, woe, woe.
Warning, warning, warning. Go ahead.
To the inhabitants of the earth by reason of the other voices of the trumpet of the three angels, which are yet to sound.
So after all he killed, a third part of the trees, a third part of the fish in the sea, all that stuff, he said, some more destruction coming?
Yes.
It's going to be this 3.5 years it lasted. So if you ain't in the right place, you got to deal with this 3.5 years. We go to Revelation chapter 9. He said 3 more woes, right?
Yes.
Go ahead.
And the fifth angel sounded, and I saw a star fall from heaven unto the earth.
Yes, sir.
And to him was given the key of the bottomless pit.
Now this star that fell from heaven to earth, this Satan coming down. And he's the one that's going to control this army. And he's the one giving them the power to destroy the earth. When you're reading this, the Revelation is symbolism. Because you have to look at John, he's seeing all this military weapons, and he had to kind of compare it to some of his day. He's going to say something like scorpion locusts. You're talking about tanks, you're talking about aircrafts and all this stuff. This is what John is trying to describe in his day. Well, go ahead.
Verse 2. And he opened the bottomless pit, and there arose a smoke out of the pit.
Yes, sir.
As the smoke of a great furnace. And the sun and the air was darkened by reason of the smoke of the pit.
The bottomless pit is the earth because it's going to be destruction on this earth. It's going to be smoke. It's going to be gloomy. It's not going to give light. And what is he going to do?
And there came out of the smoke locusts upon the earth, and upon them was given power as the scorpions of the earth had power.
Locusts is talking about aircraft. Scorpion is talking about military weapons like tanks. All this stuff is military. And the people at this time that are in power is controlling this. Go ahead.
And it was commanded them that they should not hurt the grass of the earth, neither any green thing, neither any tree, but only those men which have not the seal of God in their foreheads.
So God is looking to see in your mind, do you have it? If I don't have it, He's gonna hurt me. And if He hurt me, this is the reason why He's gonna hurt me. Go ahead, if I don't have it.
And to them it was given that they should not kill them, but that they should be tormented 5 months. And their torment was as the torment of a scorpion when he striketh a man.
This is talking about chemical warfare right here. You ever seen, at the time, probably a couple years ago, when they had germ warfare over there in Syria, you had people that were vomiting, people couldn't die. It was like a fish out of water. They were just breathing, but they didn't have no control of their body, and they had to wait till they died. This is what these people gonna put on other people that are not protected. They're gonna torment them for 5 months. It's gonna take 5 months for you to even die. Go ahead.
Verse 6. And in those days shall men seek death, and shall not find it, and shall desire to die, and death shall flee from them.
Because you're paralyzed with this germ warfare. You want to die, but you can't control it. You can't get them to kill you because you're just there. Paralyzed. But if you don't understand this, this is your fate. This is what's going to happen to you. This is what's going to happen to me if I'm not there. We can't read all this. Jump down to verse 11. Go ahead.
And they had a king over them, which is the angel of the bottomless pit,
Yes, sir.
whose name in the Hebrew tongue is Abaddon.
Abaddon meaning the destroyer.
But in the Greek tongue has his name Apollyon.
Which means the destroyer or destruction. This is his name. He seek one thing and one thing only, to destroy God's creation. That's what he's going to do. And he's going to give him a little time to do this. Go ahead.
One woe is past, and behold, there come 2 woes more hereafter.
Yes, sir.
And the 6th angel sounded, and I heard a voice from the 4 horns of the altar, or golden altar, which is before God, saying to the 6th angel which had the trumpet, loose the 4 angels which are bound in the great river Euphrates.
I was going to have a map, but I couldn't find it. But at the time, you're going to have over there in Jerusalem at the time, you go and look on your map or Google it, you got a river Euphrates. And what's going to happen is that river Euphrates is going to dry up for those kings, for the whole nation to come over from Russia, China, all those places, people over there in the north side, they coming over with a great army. And that great army is going to be big, going to be very, very large. And they're going to destroy everything that before them. This is the great tribulation. Go ahead.
And the 4 angels were loosed, which were prepared for an hour, and a day, and a month, and a year, for to slay the 3rd part of men.
So these angels been holding back that Euphrates River, keeping it up, but it's gonna dry out so they can come over. A clean path. Let's see how big this army is gonna be. Go ahead.
And the number of the army of the horsemen were 200,000. And I heard the number of them.
What is 200,000? 200 million. 200 million. We talking about Russia. We talking about China, Japan, Korea. All of them gonna be allied to team up to come over, cross that river, which is in the middle of Jerusalem. And they're gonna come over, and the people that the United States gonna join up with is gonna be the European Economic Community or the United Nations. They're gonna have to hook up with them. It's gonna be a great army, but God gonna call them all down to fight him. And they don't know it yet though, but he's gonna destroy them all at one time. We finished with that one? Yes, sir. Let's go to Revelation chapter 16. 16 and 12, same book. All this stuff is written. Why these pastors ain't reading this stuff? Why they reading it? Oh, it's boring. It ain't get you up. Hallelujah. Yeah, you better get some knowledge in your head, or you're going to be dead, just like I will be dead. Understand what you're doing. And you might not get all this at one time. It took me some years to be able to teach this. I'm talking about some years, because when my teacher taught me this, I said, man, ain't where am I going to learn this stuff? But through the Holy Spirit, I got it. Yes, sir. And I'm going to give it to y'all. straight with no chaser. Revelation chapter 16 and verse 12. Go ahead. Let's look at this armor again.
And the sixth angel poured out his vial upon the great river Euphrates.
And when he said the sixth angel poured out a vial, when that trumpet blows, which is the sixth trumpet, it blows, it tells that particular trumpet, tell that particular whatever it is to do what they're supposed to do at this time. This time is to dry up the Euphrates River for this war. Go ahead.
And the water thereof was dried up, that the way of the kings of the east might be prepared. And I saw three unclean spirits like frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon.
Yes, sir.
And out of the mouth of the beast, and out of the mouth of the false prophet.
We know who the dragon is. That's Satan. These unclean spirits are unclean words. It's just metaphorically speaking right now. Spirit can come in many forms, but this spirit right here is coming in words and telling them to carry out this evil that God already written in the book. Go ahead.
For they are the spirits of devils working miracles, which go forth unto the kings of the earth and unto the whole world.
Be careful with people who doing miracles, because the evil man, he can do them too. What did that just say? The spirit of devils working miracles.
That's right.
So just because a person heals somebody, got this man on the internet right now who supposedly raised the dead, and he right here walking around. That don't fool me now. I just find out where he going to church. I find out if he keeping the Sabbath.
Come on.
He's a false prophet to me. These people can do this stuff in the hand of Satan. He give them this power. All this stuff right here put here to warn us, to watch out. Go ahead.
For they are the spirits of devils working miracles, which go forth unto the kings of the earth and of the whole world, to gather them to the battle of that great day of God Almighty.
The battle of that great day. Go ahead.
Behold, I come as a thief. Blessed is he that watches and keepeth his garments, lest he walk naked and they see his shame.
You blessed if you understand this right now, so you can make sure you get your mind right to be in the right place at the right time. God said, you watching. The people ain't watching, they ain't concerned about this. They ain't even concerned their mind about what's going on in the book compared to the word.
Yes, sir.
Because this time is the Lord's time. What is this time again? Go ahead.
And he gathered them together into a place called, in the Hebrew tongue, Armageddon.
Let's see about this again. Let's go to Joel chapter 3. Armageddon, this is the great war we're going to call all the nations down to battle. After we got through with the tribulation period, where he's going to let Satan have his way, he said, look, it's my time. My time to come down. I want a piece of this action. This is Jesus saying this. I want a piece of this action. Joel chapter 3, or turn to your table of contents. Joel chapter 3, we're going to start with verse 1. Well, God told the same story about this war all over the Bible, about what's about to happen. So we can have more than one reference to go to. He didn't just section it off for the Old Testament or section it off for the New Testament. He told it all over the Bible. All of it. Let's look at this war. He's talking about Armageddon. Verse 1, go ahead.
For behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem,
Yes, sir.
and I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land.
Who's been scattered? Israel. He said, I'm going to plead with them because what they done to them, now is payback time. I'm going to bring them all the way down to the valley of Jehoshaphat. I wish I had my map. But it's that part over there in Jerusalem. It's a spot in Jerusalem where great wars went down. He's going to bring them all down to fight. They think they're going to fight against each other, but God going to fight.
Come on.
Go ahead.
And they have cast lots for my people, and have given a boy for an harlot, and sold a girl for wine. that they might drink.
Who's he talking about here? Sold a boy, cast lot for my people, and giving a boy from heart. You were sold, if you had a kid on a plantation at the time, and you was a mother and you had kids, they would say, look, I want that girl there to be my bed woman. You know what a bed woman is? I want her, she's 9 to 10 years old, he'll take her and he'll have sex with her. He'll do whatever he wants to do to her. And that's what the slave master did to the young Israelite women. And sold a boy for wine. All this stuff they did to only one set of people, which is Israel, and we don't give a care about it. We don't give a care about it. He said, look, I'm going to bring this war down to Jehoshaphat for these people that was cast for lots. He going to deal with them for us. And I'm waiting. Jump down to verse 9. Verse 9. Go ahead.
Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles.
Who are the Gentiles? Europeans, white folks, Caucasians, whoever you want to say with white skin. Proclaim this. How do we proclaim this? We read the book. Go ahead.
Prepare war.
Prepare what? War. Go ahead.
Wake up the mighty men.
Mm-hmm.
Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong.
He said, whatever weapons you have, like right now, everybody, like Russia, China, Israel, everybody getting their house in order. Everybody connected with allies. Like I said before, that's why Donald Trump is not messing with Putin. He look like he's scared of it. God put him up there for a reason. He don't want to mess with Russia. He's saving Russia for this time right here. Armageddon. He gonna gather Russia. They're gonna come with China. They're gonna come with Korea. They're gonna come with all of those foreign countries over there, and they're gonna form that 200 million man army on the northern eastern bloc. Then on this block over here, you're gonna have what a man is saying over there in Jerusalem. You're gonna have the United Kingdom or the 10 toes of Daniel. They're gonna form an army. And they're going to clash. They think they're going after each other, but God said, I'm on the strong. All in the valley of Jehoshaphat and Armageddon. Go ahead.
Assemble yourselves, verse 11.
Yes, sir.
Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. There to cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord.
He said, get yourself together now. Come on down. Go ahead.
Let the heathen be weakened. And come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about.
Where is he sitting? He said right there waiting for that 7 trumpet to blow, and they looking at him, and they're going about their merry way. This is after the 7 trumpet is blown. He's sitting waiting for that 7 trumpet to blow, just before the 7 trumpet, excuse me. Go ahead.
13. Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe.
Yes, sir.
Come, get you down, for the press is full, the fats overflow, for their wickedness is great.
When he's talking about sickle, we're going to find out when he's talking about sickle. He said the harvest is full, I mean this earth is so sinful. He said, I'm going to put a sickle in the middle of that. His sword is going to destroy all the multitudes. Go ahead.
Multitudes, multitudes in the valley of decision. For the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision.
Let's look at this sickle. Let's go to Revelation chapter 14. We almost done. I want y'all to make sure you understand all these words mean something. When you read these scriptures in the Bible from Revelation all the way back to the Old Testament, God has an interpreter for you, which is the Word of God. It interprets. Revelation 14. Let's see what he's talking about with this sickle. Revelation 14 and 14. I want to know. I want to really know what's going down so I can run it down. Oh, there go the 7 trumpet. There go the 6. There go the 5. There go the 4. This is a great thing to understand the answers of the test, right? This is the test right here. You understand the answers of the test before. This is an open book test. Matter of fact, you ain't even got to try to remember it. Just open your book and copy them down. But you know, people, it don't take all that. Okay. Revelation chapter 14, verse 14. Go ahead.
And I looked, and behold, a white cloud, And upon the cloud one sat like unto the Son of Man,
Yes, sir.
having on his head a golden crown, and in his hand a sharp sickle.
Wait a minute. He got in his hand a sharp sickle? What are they going to do with that? Go ahead.
And another angel came out of the temple, crying with a loud voice to him that sat on the cloud,
Yes, sir.
Thrust in thy sickle and reap, for the time is come for thee to reap, for the harvest of the earth is ripe.
He said, thrust in your sickle, meaning to kill whatever you want to kill that does not have the seal of God. This is Armageddon right here. At the end of that seventh trumpet. Go ahead.
And he that sat on the cloud thrust in his sickle on the earth, and the earth was reaped.
He started killing upon the earth. This is what Jesus Christ himself is doing with his angels and with the saints that caught up in the first resurrection. I'm going to show you that. Go ahead.
And another angel came out of the temple which is in heaven, he also having a sharp sickle. And another angel came out from the altar, which had power over fire, and cried with a loud cry to him that had the sharp sickle, saying, Thrust in thy sharp sickle, and gather the cluster of the vine of the earth, for her grapes are fully ripe.
See, these people are writing things symbolic or metaphors to make you understand about a sickle, about grapes. Grapes, you're talking about symbolize blood. And what's he going to do? When he thrusts it to the earth, we're going to kill in the earth. This is what the sickle does. Go ahead, verse 19.
And the angel thrust in his sickle into the earth, and gathered the vine of the earth, and cast it into the great winepress of the wrath of God.
Go ahead.
And the winepress was trodden without the city, and blood came out of the winepress, even unto the horses' bridles, by the space of 1,600 furlongs.
He said the blood that was upon this earth came out 1,206 what is it, 1,600 furlong is 200 miles of blood that was upon this earth at the time. Jesus and his angels and his saints killed so many people. They couldn't even bury these people. We ain't seen that. But the world is going about their merry way. Worry about the income tax check. Worry about the child support check. Worry about the welfare check. Worry about 40 hours a week. Worry about all this stuff in the world, the cares of the world, and you're taking them from the word of God. This is what we need to be worried about. Right here. But back up in verse 15, it said, another angel came out of the temple crying with a loud voice of him that sat on the cloud and thrust a sickle. I want to show you that with this shout of an angel. Let's go to 1 Thessalonians chapter 4. 1 Thessalonians chapter 4. Let me show you something. Now, this is the one that came with a shout. And he had some people with him. All these words in this Bible mean something. They match up perfectly if you got a good teacher. But if you let the Holy Ghost teach you without reading, I don't see how you can get it. I really don't. You got to read this book. I got to read it. Yes. Now this is the time right here. 1 Thessalonians chapter 4 and verse 13. Thessalonians. Hope I'm pronouncing that right.
Yeah,
You know, I'm country here. Verse 13, brother. Let's see what Jesus is talking about right here. Go ahead.
But I will not have you to be ignorant, brethren, concerning them which are asleep, that ye sorrow not, even as others which have no hope.
God said, I don't want you to be ignorant. I don't want you to not know it. So I'm going to write it in a book so you'll know the plan of God. What is that plan? Go ahead.
For if we believe that Jesus died and rose again, even so them also which sleep in Jesus will God bring with him.
So these are the people that are in the grave. He said, I'm going to bring you with me. How? Go ahead.
For this we say unto you by the word of the Lord, that we which are alive and remain unto the coming of the Lord shall not prevent them which are asleep.
Understand, when the coming of the Lord hit, when that trumpet hit, the first resurrection gonna start. And he gonna bring them up with him to get the heavenly body in the clouds. Go ahead, listen what he said. Go ahead.
For the Lord himself shall descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of an archangel, and with the trump of God, and the dead in Christ shall rise first.
Didn't he just say that in Revelation 14? He said, with a loud voice, with the archangel, that archangel is Michael. He gonna roar out and say, look, blow this 7 trumpets so the Lord can come and have his time to fight in the war of Armageddon. Go ahead.
Then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds.
Oh no, in heaven.
In the clouds.
They said we're gonna be raptured in the heaven with God. He said, in the clouds. That is the meeting spot. You wanna know what the clouds are? You can go there today, you know. Just go get your airplane ticket and get up in the airplane and go up in the clouds. That's the meeting spot right now. Where the Lord gonna give us, who have first resurrection, the heavenly body. So stop believing these fairy tales about you going to heaven. We ain't going nowhere. You're gonna be right here upon this earth. Nowhere. He said, call up in the clouds. Go ahead.
To meet the Lord in the air, and so shall we ever be with the Lord.
So Jeff, he said we're going to be in the cloud forever. Now where is that going to be? Let's go with Zechariah chapter 14. And this ain't going to listen, but I feel like we just need it. A lot of people think once we meet in the cloud, we're going out to go to Jupiter, Mars, and all that stuff. At the time, he already told you he's going to destroy the solar system as we know it. Everything. And you're going to see him upon the third, you're going to see him and the Father on their throne looking with the angels. Zechariah 14. Start with verse 1. Now he got all these saints with him. What are you going to do with these saints? Go ahead, brother.
Behold, the day of the Lord cometh, and thy spoil shall be divided in the midst of thee. For I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to battle.
This is Armageddon. He said, I'm going to gather all nations to battle. And it's something going to be going about. That's why I tell you, you care about your kids and your family, you better get them in the right spot. This is what these nations going to do to your families. Go ahead.
And the city shall be taken, and the houses rifled.
Yes, sir.
And the women's ravished.
Understand, like, you care about your little daughter, if you care about your wife, if you care about your grandma, these people that come from the north, they're going to rape our women. That's what they're saying. They're going to be ravished. They don't care. You know they don't care anyway because they got, what they call it, sex trade or trafficking. Why do you think all the Israelite women on the street coming up missing now? You'll find them over there in this sex trade. You'll find them. They're in the temple. They took them. He said they shall be ravished and raped. Go ahead.
And half of the city shall go forth into captivity, and the residue of the people shall not be cut off from the city.
That's why at that time, it ain't good to be in Jerusalem at that time. Go ahead.
Then shall the Lord go forth and fight against those nations as when he fought in the day of battle.
This is at the 7th trump. When all those 6 trumpets are on the 7th trump, the Lord said, I'm going to come back then. But before he come back, all of that got to happen in the tribulation period. Everything got to happen. Go ahead.
And his feet shall stand in that day upon the Mount of Olives, which is before Jerusalem on the east. And the Mount of Olives shall cleave in the midst thereof toward the east and toward the west. And there shall be a very great valley. And half of the mountain shall remove toward the north, and half of it toward the south.
So we got a location here. Where is Jesus coming when we meet up in the heaven in the cloud? He got to go somewhere. He said his feet shall stand on what? The Mount of Olives, which is in Jerusalem. That's the first spot he's going. And all the saints coming with him. Let me show you that. Go ahead, verse 5.
And ye shall flee to the valley of the mountains, for the valley of the mountains shall reach unto Azal. Yea, and ye shall flee like as ye fled from before the earthquake in the days of Uzziah, king of Judah. And the Lord my God shall come, and all the saints with thee.
Wait a minute, where you get them saints from? The first resurrection. They all of them came with him at this particular time. You cannot get away from it. If you want to be a part of this, you have to understand and follow these laws. So you won't be in that war where he's killing all these people. Last one, Revelation 19. Revelation 19 and verse 11. I know this is a bit meaty, a lot of meat right here for some people, but it's got to be preached. We talked about this many times, many times.